Hi, it's Joe here from Joe's Country Junction, and I have Rosie with me today. We'll see how she does with this. She is just being quite herself as I was setting up, so I'm hoping she can settle down and just be a good little dog while I film this Flosstube. I can put her in the kennel if I need to, but I just hate to. You'll notice on the blind by her, she has, let me see if I can, Rosie, can you move it up? Well, maybe she can't. Anyway, during the video, you'll be able to see if she moves that there's about this much of the slat of my blind there. You can see it right there. That is broken off. That's because she takes her nose and she pulls the blind back and she tries to get, so she can see outside. So, well, now she's being my little companion here. So we'll see how this goes. I've tried to shoot videos before with her and she is just sometimes a little bit too much. As soon as I sit down, she thinks that we're supposed to be best friends and play. Otherwise, I'm usually kind of up and around most of the day. I only stitch in the evenings, so by that time she's ready to settle down and lay on the foot of my stitchy spot, and this is the stitchy spot, and my feet recline up, and she just lays there and we have a good time stitching, her sleeping. But hopefully we can get through this video with her and she'll just calm down. She's getting a little older now. She's a year and a half now. So she's a little better, but not always. So we'll just see how it goes. I think I need a cat. They would be much more calm, I think, than Rosie's probably gonna be here. So yep, see, you can see she's exploring everything. Okay, so the first thing I was stitching on was Anniversaries of the Heart. And I got block 1 done in January, and I did block 2 in February. And I got that done earlier in the month, and the next block up is the bonus block, and that is in chart number 7. And so I've pulled out chart number 7, and the bonus block that was like the third one you stitch is this right here. It's on the back cover. And so inside the pamphlet, one side has the block number 7 and the other page has the bonus block. So if you're gonna stitch the whole series, you'll get the bonus block automatically with the series. So I'm not doing 7 yet, but I did look at this enough that I think this is gonna be mine and my husband's block. So I've been kind of slowly figuring out whose block is which. My first block was for my son, Carl. It says Kramer and it says Carl and it says his house number right over here because he just bought a house. The next block is for my dad's side of the family. My dad's dad was Ivor Johnson, and you can see that there. I pulled out and took out a little crow that was right here. And I put my grandma's name here along the bottom. She was Elsa Olson, and they were married in 1911. And I was able to sneak in some initials right here. Oh, this is really hard. Let me think if I can refold this. I didn't realize how hard this was to do. Okay, maybe this will work. Okay, yep, there, that's better. So it says H and B. That's for my dad's 2 brothers, Harold and Bert. And over here it says E and A. And E and A is for my dad's 2 sisters, Esther and Agnes. And my Aunt Agnes is the only one of them who is still living. And she turned 103 last week. And she's just the most precious lady. She was a person instrumental in me doing crafting. She's part of the crafting legacy in my life. So that's where I'm at with that. I did use, or start to kind of use, on the Geary website, they had a conversion that you could do for the January block so that it wasn't quite so light. Mine still is pretty light, but I'm content with it. And I used mostly the called for colors. I didn't bother with switching out in the mortar of the bricks. You're supposed to have onion skin. I didn't have onion skin, so I just went with the same mortar that I had. And so far, I'm really loving it, and I'm really excited about it. I hope I can just keep plugging away at it. So I'm okay if I don't get the March or get the bonus block completely done, but I do want to go over and stitch far enough along so I can see where the March block is going to fit in over on this side over here. And so and then I think in the upcoming months, I'll just do a little bit of that bonus block as I go along. Because if I do as much as I already did here, I'll have it done in no time. But I'm not going to just like stop everything and stitch that bonus block. The next block up for me will be this one. It's number 3. And this one is going to be for my daughter. What are you chewing, Rosie? Yep, here. Some little tiny piece of toy I just dug out of her mouth. What a dog. So anyway, this is block number 3, and this one will be for my daughter, Kelly. Their last name is Hankin, and so for here, they had Hayden written in here, and I thought, Hayden, Hankin, I just got to change a couple letters, and then it'll be charted for probably what I need, so I'm kind of excited about that. Wait, I wonder if that is charted. Yeah, it is charted. So I'll just change the Y to an N and the Y to an N and the D to a K, and then I'll have Hankin for Kelly's family. And right now I'll probably do something. Kelly and Jason put their wedding date in there, and this is my daughter that's expecting twins, so this block isn't going to be finished until the twins are born. Rosie, get down. Oh dear. So that's how I'm at with Anniversaries of the Heart. I'm just absolutely positively loving this piece. I'm having such a good time stitching it. I was afraid that I would kind of get frustrated with the piece because I wasn't able to, okay, I gotta get that organized, because I wasn't able to stitch on my other things when I have to stop everything and stitch that block for the month, but I'm doing okay with that, so I'm really glad with that. Okay, I have to admit most of what I've been stitching as of late are bigger samplers, and I kind of had I'm never getting anything finished. I'm never getting anything finished kind of moment. And I'm sure all of you who do stitch samplers can relate to that. So I went and pulled out this, and I had taken this project to the doctor's office with me when I went in December. And so I just had a tiny bit stitch, and I decided, heck with it. I'm just going to stitch something that's small so I can feel like I accomplished something. I had some leftover Vintage Country Mocha 40 count. And this was a piece that I cut off for after I did my Newcastle bouquet, which is at the framers right now, and they're calling. I have been messaged them yesterday and today about picking out a frame, so I'm really excited about that. But you'll see that when that ever gets done. So anyway, I just decided, heck with it. I'm just going to stitch something, and I don't know, maybe 3 nights or 4 nights I stitched this. And so I was very happy that I was able to use up this piece of linen. I'm pretty cheap and pretty conservative, so I of course would want to use up even my little scraps of linen. So that was a really fun. On the lady, they have these little goofy shoes right here. I decided not to put the goofy shoes on. I think it's better without the goofy shoes. I don't know. And I changed the blue color to maybe 930? Is that what I changed it to? DMC 930? Let me check. It originally called for Chesapeake Bay, and I liked it darker, so I switched it to 930. The 930 is very similar to what the pattern cover looks like to me. And so 930 was a better choice for me. So I'm going to have to finish that. I don't know exactly how I'll finish it. All I know is that I finally was able to stitch something that wasn't a huge sampler, because I really do get tired of sometimes never having a finish. And that happens when you do that. I was inspired after seeing Brenda and the Serial Starters video and after seeing Lori Holt's video to get this pattern. There. Kind Words by Not Forgotten Farm. I just really like that. And lo and behold, on the little piece of linen I already had out, I had more room, so I started Kind Words. And this was just a little bit of time stitching. I'll probably sit down another night and do this. I was listening to Lori Holt, and she had said that with a red sampler, sometimes she just stitches 1 thread every night. And so 1 length of thread every night. So I decided, okay, I wonder how many lengths of thread it would take me. And so far I'm on 3 to get this far. And so I've worked on it 3 nights. I've just put 1 thread in 3 different nights. So I'm probably guessing maybe one more thread, and so one more night and I'd be done if I just sit down and do that. But right now, being my anniversaries is done, I am really excited because I am back to my project, Heaven and Nature. This is a Teresa Kogut pattern. I'm really in love with this. I am going to leave mine out year round because the only thing that really screams Christmas to me are these 2 trees with the star on top. And that's not a big deal to me to have that out. And besides, I think the sentiment of Heaven and Nature Sing applies all year long. So you want to see where I'm at? When I last left you, I had the top done right here. And I had the border all the way around. And so since then, I have went down and worked more down here. The last couple nights, I've been working on this tree with the star. I went and screwed up on the star and had to rip the whole thing out. Not that that's a big deal, but you know, I was trying to steal time. So my grandson was here. He had a blowout diaper and I decided I'm just going to give you a bath. So I took him upstairs, put him in the bathtub, and he loves to play in the bathtub. So I went and grabbed my cross stitch and decided, okay, I'm just going to sit on a chair in here next to the bathtub and I am going to stitch this star. And so he can be in the bathtub and play as long as it takes me to stitch that star. So what happens? I get down to like the last 4 stitches and I figured out that I had the placement in the wrong spot. So bummer. But I am... this is a page right here. From here over is a page. So I have another page mostly done. I do have to come along and do the border, which that shouldn't take too long either. But I'm just going to keep slowly plugging away at this. I'd really like it done by Christmas. She's a big girl. She is on 40 count. She'd finish 14 and a half by 18. Not huge, but plenty big enough. For me, you have to remember I'm not this would only be like my, probably, I don't know. I stitched Newcastle Bouquet by Teresa Kogut. And yeah, that's a sampler, but not a sampler because I don't know. Does a sampler have to have an alphabet on it? I've always wondered. And so that doesn't have an alphabet on it, but it is a bigger piece. So I don't know if it's a sampler or not a sampler. So whatever. Maybe this is my first sampler. Maybe it's my second sampler. I have no idea. But either way, I'm just really, really loving it. And I love the color selection on this. If you look at this raccoon, and if you look at the color in the pack, the raccoon looks really green. The thread looks really green. And then when I first started stitching, I thought, what the heck? This is going to look terrible. But look, isn't that raccoon cute? Are you seeing it? Yeah. There. So I've been having so much fun with this. I wish I could stitch all the time. I've kind of had one of those weeks this week that I've not been getting a lot of stitching done. But it's mostly because family's been around and hey, I'm ready for a little bit of family time. So I'm okay with that. Totally okay with that. But it has been cramping my stitching time, which, you know, hey, it's, like I said, really okay. Now Rosie's over here on the couch chewing plastic thread spool. She likes to just chew things, and yeah, so that's what she's doing over there. And that's, if you hear the noise, that's what the noise is all about. So that's that. Okay, what else do I have to show you? I'm sneaking around. So I've been a little bit influenced by Flosstube lately. Aren't we all? So, and Instagram, I swear, companies just, yeah, I think Flosstube is making cross stitch companies a lot of money. So I was watching, I pulled out some projects that I already had that I was thinking about after seeing some Flosstube. So that's okay too. So at least some of this I already had. Well, all of this I already had actually. No, one I didn't. Okay, so I digress. So here I go. I have wanted to stitch this a long time ago. Oh, you can't see it very good. Quite some time ago when I first started watching Stitching in the Light. She had done this piece. It's a Barbara Anna design. And it's A Love Never Fails. And so I got it, and because I immediately just wanted to make it. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And so I went and I think it just calls for DMC. Yep, all DMC. So I got all the DMC together. I'm all happy with the DMC. They look fabulous together. I'm a person that bobbinates, so I can't show you cute thread because see, they're just all in there and on a bobbin, so I can't like pet my pretty floss on my thread drops. But this is what works for me, so that's totally okay. But when I got this, I was still stitching on lower count. I don't know. Yeah, lower count linen. And so when I was doing that, I had originally bought some 32 count, what it calls for. And I mean, not what it calls for, but at least 32 count. And I was going to stitch it with that. And then I've kind of turned into a 40 count girl. It's my favorite. I like the coverage of one thread over two on 40 count. It's just kind of what feels good to me. And so I think I'm going to get some new linen and do this. But why I was inspired to pull it back out again is I was watching Nikki Noodles, and she had this done. It's in one of Flosstube 1 or 2. She was showing some old pieces that she had stitched, and she showed hers. And I was just immediately in love with it all over again. And so, I don't know. This is on my closer to the top of the pile of radar. So we'll see what happens if I actually get going on it. But now I don't have any linen. I have some linen here that will probably work. But I'm going to play with that and do a little floss toss and see what I think about where I want to go with this project. So I think... I have a little bit of it in me when I see, when I re-see the project, because I don't know what it is with cross stitch, but when you see the front picture on the cover of a chart, I never like it. But then when I see it live, or maybe not live, when I see someone who has actually stitched it and then they talk about it, I'm like all excited all over again. So I hope I can keep the excitement for this one and probably get working on that. It's not really huge, I don't think. Let me look. No, because it was only supposed to be like 11 by 17 if it was stitched on 32. So if I'm stitching it on 40, it'll be smaller than that. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Right now, I really don't want to jump in and do too many other things because I really do want to finish the, I want to make sure I stay on track with Anniversaries of the Heart, and I want to make sure that I keep working on my Heaven and Nature. But, you know, there's just not enough cross stitch hours in the day. I am going to probably, once I get the Kind Words finished, I'm going to pick up another small project just so I have something to work on here and there that isn't one of those huge pieces, because I do like to have something that feels like I get it finished. So I was watching Lori Holt, and I saw that she had this pattern that was going to be one of her new starts. And this is from the Scarlet House, and it says a sampler grows. I think it's so cute. The saying on it says, inch by inch, row by row, X's make my sampler grow. And I thought it's so cute. I want to do a couple smaller things, and I love things with houses. I mean, who doesn't? But the only thing I was so disappointed in is when I got this, it says that it was stitched on legacy linen from Picture This Plus, 1/2 threads using NPI. So needle ink silks. So to me, I don't have any needle ink silks, or what? What is it? I don't have any of the silks. None. 0. So if I count here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 silks needed for this. And there's not a DMC conversion. So that made me kind of sad because I'm not going to buy 12 silks for a small pattern. So being Lori Holt pulled it out, and this is one of her projects that she's going to work on. I'm going to make sure I watch Lori Holt and see what she ends up doing, if she does it with silk or if she substitutes something else. And watching her Flosstube, she's always so good about showing what her color changes are. So I am going to keep this on my radar and Lori Holt on my radar to see if what she's doing might be something that I want to do too. So it's really cute though. And I would make this into a pillow. And I just ordered from Etsy a huge dough bowl that's going to go across. My television is on the opposite wall of where I'm sitting right now, and we're in my living room. And so the dough bowl is like, I don't know, 4 feet long or something like that. It's really big, and it's going to fit on top of my entertainment center there, so I can make lots of pillows and put them in there and display them there. So I'm excited about that. So I got to have some little pieces. So that's why this is on my radar. I also have this, and this is part of the Sunday Stitches. This is Amazing Grace by Heartstring Samplery or Beth Twist. And I have the threads already, and I believe I have some linen that'll work. And so I think this is going to be my next smaller project. It's actually, you know, not teeny tiny. It says, well, yeah, it is pretty small. It's 149 by 70. So this will be my next small project that I work on after I finish up Kind Words, and probably before I do this, depending on when Lori Holt gets hers done. But these are my next two small things that are on my radar. I watched Nicole's needlework, and I watched it a bit ago, and she had showed Forever and Ever. And I've been looking kind of for something that I want to stitch kind of to commemorate mine and my husband's like anniversary. And so when I saw this, I immediately went and looked it up. And it's got a nice alphabet, and towards the bottom it says "In My Heart Forever and Ever," and then it has like a wedding date, and then initials can go over here. So I thought, oh, this would be perfect, because like so many of you, I really want a sampler wall, and I want my sampler wall to be interesting. So if my sampler wall is going to be interesting, it needs to have projects that are different sized or different shaped. So I don't want everything huge, but I do want quite a few huge ones. So this would be perfect as like a longer rectangular one. And I did see that Nicole finished hers. She did there's an option to make a smaller version that's just like this much, but I want to do the whole thing, because I really want to do the "In My Heart Forever and Ever" and the wedding date on it. So that's on my radar to do. I haven't even looked at it to pick up threads or do anything like that. But hey, girls got a plan, right? If we don't plan, we don't get anything made. So some time ago, I'm switching over to haul now. Some time ago, I contacted the attic in Arizona, and I was looking for some lakeside linen, and they said they didn't have what I was interested in stock. And I said, well, can I put my name on a list, and if it comes in stock, then you can send it to me. And they said that was just great. And then when I was emailing them back and forth about that, I said, yeah, and if you have "Oh Joyous Day," could you send that to me? I just love this sampler. This is like really, I really, really love this one. One of my favorites that I've been seeing on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else lately. So everybody's stitching it, everybody's seen it. I guess I'm gonna join the crowd. So this came as a big treat in my mail, and it came along with a piece of vintage Metaroo. And so I'm going to try out some lakeside linen. Like I said, I'm newer to samplers, so I just want to try out different linen. I did do a small piece on some lakeside linen and really loved it, but it's really hard to find it. And I know so many people that do samplers use lakeside linen, so I kind of put myself on a hunt to find some, and am excited that I actually did find some. In the meantime, I knew that this would eventually be coming. So this is stitched on 36 count legacy by Picture This Plus. And so I had went on 1, 2, 3 stitch, and I checked to see if they had any Picture This Plus, and they didn't. And that's another linen that's pretty hard to find. So they have a place that I could put my email address in when it came in, and I did. And I was able to score myself a piece of Legacy Picture This Plus. And so I'm going to team these two things together. And that is my first spot of starting to kit this up, is at least I have the linen and the chart. And I don't know. I haven't looked to see what the threads were yet. I didn't look to see what I have. I didn't look to see anything more about it than that. I was just excited that I had the linen, and I was excited that now I have the chart. So I am just a girl that loves flowers. So I just am really attracted to the sampler because it's got the flowers along the top. But I think that's about all I have for today. I am going to be done here, and I happen to have the day off, which is really awesome. I'm on February 25th is what it is here in Northeast Iowa. We still have snow. It is my grandson's birthday, so I'm sure he'll be stopping by later, and Grandma's gonna have to love up on him because it's his birthday. He's all the way 2. So it's been a fun, good 2 years with him. He's had some medical issues, but way more fun than ever. The problems that he's had have brought us a little anxiety here and there along the way, but he is so much more fun than any problem that he is. And we just enjoy the heck out of him. He's learning his colors and knows his colors now, and he's just a really fun guy, and I like to be hanging around him. And so the fun thing is then the next Thursday, as we pop into March, that's my granddaughter's birthday, and she will also be 2. So they were born exactly 1 week apart, and it's been so fun watching those two grow up together, and it's really been a joy. So I am super, super impressed with how Rosie's doing. Aren't you guys? Look at, she's sleeping on the couch. Look at that girl right in her dog bed, and she is not jumping on me. She is not biting my legs. She is not doing any of those things. I don't know. Maybe our little Rosie is finally growing up. I sure hope so. I don't know how many times I've told that dog, you know, dog, you only have up to go. And that's really been the truth. She's been just a trial of a dog, and I'm glad that she's finally coming into her own, and that she's finding a little bit more calmness in her life. So anyway, that's where I'm at with cross stitch for the month of February. I'm really looking forward to the month of March. I can start the new block on Anniversaries of the Heart, and I can hopefully finish stitching my kind words. I'm not a fast stitcher, so if you're looking for a speed demon, I'm not your girl. But if you want to see somebody who's just in love with their craft, that girl is me. I am super busy. I probably have more time to stitch if I wasn't so busy quilting. Right now, I just sent off in January, I sent off a quilt to American Patchwork and Quilting. It was a Halloween quilt, and that will be in a fall issue of American Patchwork and Quilting. Now I just finished a Christmas quilt. I sent that out last week, and that will be going into a Christmas issue of American Patchwork and Quilting. And I'm currently working on a tulip quilt, and that will be going in American Patchwork and Quilting as well. So I'm kind of on a roll with a lot of big quilt projects that I'm doing that have to get finished up and sent out. So that eats into my cross stitch time, and that's totally okay. But yeah, what's a girl to do when you've got a couple different hobbies? You kind of have to just figure it out. So, and that's how I've been figuring it out now. A little bit of stitching, a little bit of quilting. So that's all I have for you today. I hope you all have a good stitchy time, and I will see you later. Bye.